This meeting is a meeting of the school board and a public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business. It is not to be considered a public community meeting. There will be time for public participation as indicated by the agenda. The meeting site is fully accessible, and any person requiring further accommodation should contact the superintendent at the school corporation's central office. With that, we will start, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked Mr. Klauser to lead us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. We do have Mrs. Jones is missing, or she is absent. She let us know she is not missing. She's absent today. We know where she is. But we do have a quorum. With that, I'll ask Mr. Hendricks to lead us or speak the mission statement.
Lebanon Community School Corporation challenges everyone every day to reach a new best.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll have approval of minutes for the March 19th, 24 regular meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Mr. Klauser. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have certified executive content. Do we have a motion to certify the executive content for the March 19th executive session?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Hendricks, do we have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Hutchison, I heard her first. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have superintendent's announcements and celebrations.
It's very few this evening. Just encouraging everyone to get their tickets to the upcoming musical. It's always a great performance by our students. Murder on the Orient Express, right, Miss Britt? That correct? And so you can go to our website, go to our Facebook page. There's links to order tickets. Students always do an outstanding job. All of our spring sports are underway, and we've delayed the ribbon cutting of the new softball field. I think we're halfway through the season now, but the weather has not cooperated. We'll be doing that on Friday, so look forward to that. Just wanted to draw folks' attention to a 3-part video series that we just launched this week. Again, complimenting Lexi, Britt, Buis, as well as our partners at CIESC. Wanted to do a video series on updates from how the district is utilizing referendum dollars, updates on our capital projects, and just encourage everyone to take a look at those. We've chopped them up into little 3-minute videos, so hopefully they're not too long for you to do, and encourage you to share those with the community. I'm very proud of the work our students and staff, and of course all of the hardworking construction staff is doing. That's all I have for the announcements this evening.
All right. Well, thank you. Now for probably the best part of the evening is board recognitions with Tiger Pride.
Yes, we'll ask Mrs. Dennis to come forward.
Good evening. We are proud to recognize students that earned a Tiger Pride Champion Award during the month of March or April. The award is designed to nominate and select students who take pride in themselves and their school. The Tiger Pride Champion Award celebrates students who demonstrate persistence, respectfulness, initiative, dependability, and efficiency. The following students were recognized at their respective schools in front of their classmates, but we're excited to recognize them again here tonight at the school board meeting. Students, please come up when your name is called to get your certificate from Dr. Millman. We will also take a group photo at the end. From Central Elementary, James Custis and Irina Huang. From Harney Elementary, Carson Goodrich and Cece Munson. Yep, you guys can stay up for a group photo. From Hattie B. Stokes Elementary, Steele Foster and Cameron Toole. From Perryworth Elementary, Howard Dia and Cooper Griffith. From Lebanon Middle School, Emma Alexander, Emily Hayden, Luke Shirley, and Gabe Tiki. And from Lebanon High School, Sarah Keith, Sam Kiker, Drew Reeves, and Emily Sperry. Congratulations, guys.
Right. Everybody's.
Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job. Good job.
Good job, you know. Thanks again.
Out here now, but like OUT. We don't even need it.
Look at that. I don't even need to announce it this time. That is awesome.
Maybe.
We will break for a moment to let you to go. That. We know how to clear a room, don't we? All right. On to informational items, school construction or renovation update.
Pass on to you.
Pass on to you.
and exciting
Anything
for us
new?
this evening?
Nothing this evening, but starting next month, it's going to start to ramp up on us a little bit of board meetings, so.
Good deal.
1 month of brief.
1 month, a good deal. All right. Next, we have the program spotlight. Lexi, Britt Buse.
Yes, as Lexi's coming forward, something I want to begin doing more often for the school board is some program spotlights, just to highlight some of the things that are happening across the district, whether it be academic or operational. As you know, board, we have been meeting with our Tiger community ambassadors over the last several months. You're going to be able to meet and thank them in person at next month's meeting. We'll be honoring them at the May meeting. And at each one of those meetings, we have exposed our ambassadors to the inner workings, really, of the school corporation, deeper dives into school finance, operations, curriculum and assessment, food service, all of the operational parts of the district. One of the more impactful presentations that took place during that was Lexi's presentation about communication, why we communicate, how we communicate, and some data on our engagement with our community. So I thought it would be a great kickoff to the program spotlight to have Lexi share with you some data and some information that I think will be helpful for you and the community.
Excellent.
Chad, are you my tapper? Okay, perfect. Okay, well, you can tap. As you know, you already know this about me, but I went to LCSC. I'm a Tiger at heart, forever and ever. And it's because of the teachers and my friends that I still have to this day. They all started planting these seeds in me, all these connections started happening, and I feel like a deep love for LCSC. This is like the best job ever. So I just wanted to start off saying that I do think that great communication begins with connection. And so I really want that to always kind of be a connector throughout all of our communication that we do. So how do we communicate? You know some of these things, but I'm just going to go over them for you. Go ahead, Chad. Thank you. So we obviously have various social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have our monthly e-newsletter. We have Parent Square. Our press releases, our local news that has been great. The Lebanon Reporter is always great to work with. We have great community partners with them. And then our website, obviously. So Facebook is generally where we post all of our exciting news. This is all the fun stuff. Parents love to see their kids on social media. They really love to see what's happening in classrooms and all of those things. So this is really where we meet our families and communicate that way. Twitter, you'll notice we're kind of starting to drift away from because we don't feel like our target audience is exactly on Twitter anymore. But it's still great for sharing sports-related news. And then Instagram is really where we can meet our students. They love this. They love to share our content. They love to be featured on there. They tell me, I was interviewing some today for some distinguished educator videos, and they told me they felt like YouTubers today. So they absolutely love that. So that's kind of where we can meet them on there. Some social media wins over the last year, and I can't see that far because I didn't wear my glasses. So our Facebook profile visits are actually up 345%, which sounds astronomical. And our Instagram profile visits are up 201%. Our Facebook reach, so this is all the people that we're reaching beyond our community even, is up 211%. And then our Instagram reach is up 192%. Moving on to followers, we gained 746 followers in the year, which I think is pretty good on Facebook, which is up 67.6% compared to the other year. And then 348 Instagram followers. Our monthly e-newsletter is a great way for us to meet or to really show what's been happening month to month in our community. We currently have 10,746 subscribers. And then a 42% open rate, which is really great. Industry standard is like 17 to 28%, so that's really good. Obviously, I would love for that to keep going up, so we'll keep working on that. Parent Square is really where we send out all of our important information to parents. This is a private communication platform. It's really a one-stop shop. It's for them to know about 2-hour delays and alerts and important information that we may not want the rest of the world to know at the time. And it has been great to use Parent Square, and we're utilizing it for our athletic activities and extracurriculars as well. As far as press releases, news, and the website goes, these are all great places. The website kind of hosts all of that. It's where we can share all of the really great things that are happening in our schools. Over the past year, we've had 46 very exciting news articles that we've written, press releases that we've sent about fun things happening in classrooms or exciting new hires that we've had. So it's always good to have those on our website. Although I see things from a rose-colored lens all the time, I'm told, we do face challenges, and some of those are just making sure that when we are communicating, social media kind of can take hold very quickly, and so just making sure that we can efficiently get the information out as quickly as possible in a calm manner, because we also don't want to cause chaos or fear. Really navigating social media in a way. I love social media, and I think there is a lot of power of good with it, but sometimes people on social media can be harsh, and so just trying to navigate what we need to be responding to, if it's thoughtful and focusing on responses that are constructive. And the biggest challenge I think we face is just really humanizing our team, because at the end of the day, the people that are making these decisions and the people that are communicating these decisions are humans. And I think it's really hard it's easy to forget that on social media when you're just behind a keyboard. So I always want people to know that students and staff are always our top priority in our messaging and communicating, and I do think we do a good job of that. The very last thing is that I want people to feel through our communication strategies really what it's like to be a Lebanon Tiger, because I had such a great experience that I wanted to come back, and I want to raise my family here, and I want people to want to come back and raise their families here, because I do think we have something so special here. So I want people to feel that through images. I want them to feel that through our videos. I want them to really, I want to always be able to capture what it feels like to go to school here, and for people to always remember that we have something special. So I will continue to work hard to make sure that people know that our students and staff are achieving awesome things every day. So thank you for letting me give you a little spotlight on communications and for giving me the best job in the world.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Any questions for Lexi? or-
Yeah.
No? Well done.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Next is consent agenda staff matters. Dr. Millman. Oh. Oh, yeah. First reading policy updates.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, we have several policy updates for you this evening. You'll see, kind of split into two parts this evening. Some new policies that have been developed by Neola, some updates, several technology updates. There's some outdated language and the types of social media platforms, et cetera, that Lexi spoke about. Just updating some language and verbiage around that, some typographical errors that might have been seen by policy development services as well in technology, some technical corrections as well. But you might also notice that there's several policies that are being recommended for removal from your policy manual, several 01600 or 600 policies regarding school board meetings. At first glance, we'd be like, are we not having a policy on emergency meetings? Are we not having policy on notice of regular meetings? The policy service consolidated these into the meetings item that was going to be adopted. So that's why there's so many deletions, which is a little bit abnormal in our process. So I'll be happy to answer your questions about that or take those questions back and get you an answer at a later time. But that is why there's such a long list of policies that are being rescinded in this first reading.
Any questions regarding? All right. Anything else?
That's it.
No?
Now we can go to
All right,
staff.
good reading there, right?
Yes, a lot of
Yes, a lot of reading. All right, now we can go on to consent agenda staff matters.
Thank you, Mr. President. For our classified staff matters this evening, I am requesting approval of new hires 482 through 489, resignations 490 through 492, a resignation 493, a status change for employee 494. Just side note, this is in preparation for launching the new Lebanon Western Boone Joint Services, so it's a transition to the same position in a new joint services, and a termination number 495. For our certified staff matters this evening, asking for approval of maternity leaves 116 and 117, medical leave 118, new hires 119 and 120, and resignations 121 through 124, and retirements numbers 125 through 127. Under the ECA this evening, asking for approval of new hires 472 through 476, and resignations 477 through 481.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve classified, certified, and ECA recommendations as read?
I'll move to approve as read.
Mr. Clauser. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hendricks. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Good. I do have some announcements attached to our
All
staff
right.
matters this evening. I'd like to share with the board and some special guests this evening. In the certified staff matters this evening, you just approved the retirement of 3 of our staff members. One being Rhonda Valines, art teacher at Lebanon Middle School, 25 years of service to Lebanon schools. Lori Faust, also a middle school English teacher, 25 years of service to Lebanon schools. We thank them for that. And our administration center's own Diane Scott was approved by the board just moments ago for her retirement. Diane has spent 32 years in the district, has served as a principal in the middle, or assistant principal to middle school, assistant principal, I believe you said at the Diane made the transition to the new Hattie B. Stokes. She's responsible for many of the wonderful educators that we have in front of our students here today. No offense to my crew up here. I think she's the hardest working member of our team and spends countless hours at the office. She does not want fanfare, so I promised her I would do that. So I'm doing the best I can to be very stoic in this narrative, but we can't thank Diane enough for her service to our students and families. It's such a heart for our students and community. So I've talked her in, if the board would agree to stay on as your representative to the Parks Board. I told her I don't think we'd have too much argument from the school board, so that will come to you in January as well. I can't think of a better advocate for the school board in any community committee that might be there. So we thank her for that. So thank you, Diane. We're going to clap for you, even though you don't want to.
Thank you so much.
And you approved a new hiring this evening, new Hattie B. Stokes principal to begin with us as soon as she is able. And that is Amber Walters. I'm going to walk up here, and I think we have a microphone somewhere, maybe over at Chad's. I'll talk to her a little bit about her from that microphone so
Okay.
she can introduce who's with her this evening. So. So, board, we're very pleased to present Amber Walters as the new principal at Hattie B. Stokes Elementary School. She has served as a teacher in multiple subjects: English, science, mathematics. Serves as a department chair of mathematics, assistant principal of an elementary, very successful principal of elementary schools, and is currently serving as principal of an intermediate school. So has a vast knowledge, national board certified teacher, district administrator of the year, Indiana District 8 principal of the year. She is a mentor and facilitator in the Indiana Principals Leadership Institute, which works with young and principals new to the principalship, and mentors them and guides them through a goal setting process and helps them through some of those formative years, and some experienced principals as well in that group. So she is a sought-after facilitator and mentor through that group. Certified mentor through the state of Indiana. Boy, there's a lot of other accolades too. It's a long list of things that she's accomplished. But one of the things that struck us with Mrs. Walters is her experience with a very diverse student populations. High numbers of special education populations in the building she's led, migrant student populations, multilingual students, self-contained special education, and has reached impressive heights for those students in academic growth and achievement in those settings. And so no pressure, right? We're hoping and know that we'll have some of those successes in the future, Hattie B. Stokes. So I asked her to maybe say a few words and introduce her better half, right? And introduce herself.
Good evening. I'm Amber Walters. I am so excited to be here. It's an honor. It's an honor to be named the principal of Hattie B. Stokes. So thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. Wow. Yes, sorry. This is my husband, Jake Walters, and I have a 19-year-old son who is a freshman at IUPUI. So he is studying for finals or trying to prepare. So he couldn't be here tonight, but they are my reason for success and their unconditional support of everything I've done. Yes, first and foremost, kids are my reason for being, and that is why I'm here, and it's an honor to be here, and I'm excited to serve the students and staff of Hattie B. Stokes. As Dr. Milliman shared, my passion for inclusion and my passion for serving all kids and making sure they all feel belong and they all feel like they belong in the classroom is my reason for being. And making sure they feel safe and heard and seen is why I'm an educator today, and I have been for the past 24 years. So I'm excited to walk alongside the staff at Hattie B. Stokes. I can't wait to begin. And so it can't come soon enough. So thank you for having me. It's truly an honor to be here in Lebanon. So thank you.
We will be having some things coming out on social media this evening, probably, with the announcement. Yes, please. And
Welcome.
Thank you.
we will be announcing some open houses for the community and parents and staff. You'll get the special introduction, but we'll bring the families in too. That's the timing of this hire allows us to do that while the school year is still in session. So we'll try to pick a good night that will work for Mrs. Walters and us, and invite the families in for an evening to be able to meet the new principal. So we've already started funneling assistant principal applications her way, so she's got some work to do ahead of her. So we'll be looking forward to that. So thank you very much.
Welcome to the LCSC family. So. Next, we have consent agenda business matters.
Thank you, Mr. Parks, and good evening to the board. As always, in the background notes, a summary of our month of performance. And as always, happy to answer any questions about that before getting into the claims.
Any questions about the financial update? No questions. Any questions? Thank you.
So, okay, hearing none. Claims for the month, which would be 59608 through 59762, asking for the board's approval in the amount of $4,019,234.33. Two payrolls, March 29th and April 12th, in the amount of $2,150,646. It's been 7 months since I've screwed that up, and here we are. Let's go ahead and replace that 7 with a 0 and start over. Two payrolls, $2,150,646.50 for a total of the month $6,169,880.83. Requesting the board's approval of those claims.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve claims for payment 59608 through 59762 and payrolls for March 29th and April 12th? Mrs. Hutchison, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hendricks. Motion is second. Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have comments from public. Hearing none, we'll move on to action items. Request approval for change orders. Mr. Dennis?
Thank you, Mr. Parks. We have 4 this month at Harney. I apologize, I did not remove the highlight Perryworth Elementary from February, but you can ignore the 3 from Perryworth as they were back in February. But do have 4 for Harney this month. Includes an equipment swap out of some kitchen equipment that results in a small credit, a positive change order for site prep for the playground there at Harney, the underlayment, and then a net zero swap due to some damage on some EFIS that one contractor repaired at the other contractor's expense. So respectfully requesting approval of those 4 change orders at Harney Elementary this month.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the change orders for Harney as stated?
So moved.
Mr. Clausen, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hendricks. We have a motion and a second. Any additional comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have request for approval of final playground equipment.
Yeah, this kind of reads almost like the acceptance of a bid due to the fact that it's a single source, really presenting it more of a board's permission to issue a purchase order. If the board will recall, in the 4th quarter of last year, we brought playground equipment. With that being a long lead item, we needed to get it on order. At the time in that meeting, I shared that we were still missing some components of a final functional playground, that of course being the soft surface, the installation of the equipment, again, just purchase the equipment itself, but really pouring in place the soft surface in the installation. So that's what I bring to the board tonight. Again, a reminder, there is only one company that is licensed to install the equipment that we bought, therefore becoming this sole source purchase. That was, of course, through our CISC purchasing cooperative. All that information is in the board notes. The 4 quotes that you will see, in theory, should all be identical. One of them is not. Hattie B. Stokes is about $10,000 cheaper than the others. The basketball goals at Hattie B. Stokes were deemed to be in fantastic shape. Therefore, it seemed wasteful to tear those down just to replace with new basketball goals. But what's in front of you tonight at each elementary school is the poured-in-place surface. As a reminder to the board, we get soft play and hard play with an elementary playground. Soft play, think about where the playground is. Hard play, your gaga pits, your basketball goals. It's really the soft play where you get an opportunity to be very ADA friendly. Rubber mulch or traditional wood mulch is not going to be conducive for the students in wheelchairs, whereas more of a softer, it's a poured-in-place surface that ends up being much more conducive for students in wheelchairs and general ADA compatibility. It was chosen, as this certainly is a more expensive option than synthetic or rubber mulch or traditional wood mulch, but due to the favorable bids that we received from Central Elementary, this left some room in the budget that we felt like we could provide this upgraded surface. And so, again, because I requested the board's approval so many months ago for the equipment, I felt it prudent to give you a summary of what an overall playground costs at each elementary school. So you have that in the board packet tonight. Represents all in about $500,000 savings of what was budgeted for these playgrounds. So things did come in very favorably. But ultimately, the motion I'm asking for tonight is approval of me sending a purchase order to Play Pros to install our equipment and pour our poured-in-place surface.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the final playground equipment as noted here as Play Pros? Mrs. Hutchinson, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hendricks. I do have just one question. You had said that the Stokes one was less expensive, but it looks to be the same exact number.
Mine says $288, $132 for Stokes on the front.
That's what I have too.
Okay. As long as we get that,
Yours does not say that?
mine does not say that, so
So the Ms. Hutchinson, Mr.
there's due.
Yep.
Okay,
288, 132 as well.
Okay.
there you go. All right. Yeah. All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is a request of approval of bids for the early site package at LMS and catering at LMS.
Yes, we'll start with the early site work. Received 4 responsive bids on bid day for early site work. This is to get site work contractors on site at Lebanon Middle School as soon as school ends. We are recommending the lowest responsive and responsible bidder on bid day, which is Atlas Excavating, in the amount of $2,942,000. Beyond that, which is also associated with the Lebanon Middle School project, again, due to the amount of utilities that come in right near the middle of that building, specifically the kitchen, explained to the board in previous months, taking the LMS kitchen offline as soon as students leave this school year, which of course begs the question, where will food be prepared for Lebanon Middle School? We will be retrofitting, upgrading, it was probably a better word, the catering kitchen that we have just outside these doors right here, and that's where we will be preparing the meals, and then we'll be satelliting them to Lebanon Middle School every day. Received 2 responsive bids on bid day. Again, we'll be recommending the low, which is to JBM Contractors in the amount of $337,000. Respectfully requesting the board's approval of those 2 bids.
Would you like them separate or together?
It's just a single motion to
Motion,
approve
okay.
both, unless the board would
Okay.
like to separate those out.
So do we have a motion to approve both the early site package and the catering at LMS?
I'll move to approve.
Mr. Clauser, do we have a second? Second. Mrs. Hutchison, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the recommendation of K through 5 reading adoption. Mrs. Scott.
Before I tell you a little bit about the recommendation, I think it's important for you to have a little bit of background about this because it's a little bit unique this year in that the state of Indiana, and when I say that, I'm talking about legislators and the Department of Ed, are really moving toward all Indiana public schools implementing the science of reading. And science of reading is a very explicit instructional approach trying to elevate reading instruction across all public schools in the state of Indiana. And so as part of that, we are actually in the position of adopting 1 year earlier for reading at K through 5 than we would have if we were following the typical cycle that we follow. And it's a really good thing in that we're hoping that these curricular resources, as well as the PD that we've been doing all year to help our teachers learn and understand a little bit more about the science of reading, and then the utilization of new materials will help elevate instruction for our students and improve our literacy results for our kiddos. So the committee has met. The DOE actually put out a list at the very end of January of approved curricular resources that you could select from. Our committee met right away, and we started talking to vendors, learning a little bit more about the ones that were being offered, and we had narrowed it down to 2. And then eventually, with the input from other teachers, administrators, all classroom teachers had an opportunity to give input. We finally decided that CKLA, which stands for Core Knowledge Language Arts by a company called Amplify, is our preferred choice. And that's what we are recommending. And we're kind of excited about the opportunity to look at things in a different way. We've been using comprehensive balanced literacy now in our district for probably 15 to 20 years, something like that's been several adoptions as far as how we've approached it. We've used different resources. And so it's making us think differently about how we approach reading instruction. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Do you have any questions? I don't. Well, thank you very much. Do we have a motion then to adopt CKLA by Amplify for K through 5 reading?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Hendricks, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Clauser. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Great. Thank you so much.
Next, we have a request approval of donation from the Boone County Health Department.
Yes, continuing with our partnership, and thanks to the Health Department for stepping up for our neediest students and in some of our neediest situations. This donation is in the amount of $7,027.84 and will provide 2 ADA power lift exam beds for our life skills classroom at Hattie B. Stokes, very much needed. As you recall, Boone County Health Department helped us with some of our AED defibrillators to help us with emergency response in that realm as well. So again, just my sincere thanks to them for that, and request approval of this donation.
All right, that's great. And do we have a motion to approve this donation from the Health Department? Mrs. Hutchison, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Clauser, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or additional comments? It's great. Great partnership. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is a request for approval of a contract with Smart Mouth Pizza Program. Yeah.
All right. I'm having a little trouble getting that contract to open up. It's just kind of hung up. I have, in bringing this on behalf of Mr. Anstead, the Smart Mouth contract is a specialized pizza, right in line with the USDA food requirements, and it's an automated system where they load the product and it spits out a pizza, kind of like Little Caesars, but it's made with the processed ingredients that allow it to be sold in schools. That would not be a typical Little Caesars pizza. The right kind of bread and the right kind of other ingredients that allow it to be approved. It doesn't quite have the profit margin of something they'd create themselves, but it doesn't have the labor, and it is very well designed for improving participation. It's quick and easy, and it tastes really good. Supposedly he wants to bring some for us to try out when he gets everything going, so
Yeah.
product spotlight or a program spotlight later
Yeah,
on. If
perhaps.
this is on
Yeah.
board, will be a little bit more informative for you.
Yeah. Perhaps I can get, once we start doing some of these satellite situations, we can talk about the logistics of that with the board. But Mr. Anstead did say that this is very popular with the students, so.
Does it come in a rectangle about this big?
I know, right? I know,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
No, that's what, on a tray, right? A little
Is
cardboard.
that in the 70s or the 60s?
And corn.
Just asking for a
That pizza
friend.
came with corn every time.
Still available at Gordon's Foods.
It was the 70s, thank you.
70s.
Yes, thank
Confirmed.
you.
Thank you.
So we have a motion to approve this contract with Smart Mouth Pizza.
I'll move to approve.
Mr. Glauser. Do we have a second?
Second.
I wrote Smart Mouth. Mr. Hendricks. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That's all we have. Upcoming meeting, May 21st, regular board meeting, right here. Last student day, May 22nd, so